Alright, well, look at it from my point of view. Often it's thought that the perks of the job includes things such as, flying through the air, being out in the open at great speeds. Although I'm rather embarrassed to admit that I'm really rather afraid of heights, and speed makes me feel sick. Now, I'm sure from your perspective that it's all just a big laugh, but if anything, that just makes my suffering worse.
I've always wondered what wind feels like. I see it all the time, I hear it all the time, but I've never actually felt it. Come to think of it, I've never actually felt anything at all. My only real interaction is being fed a little water once a fortnight, and even that's just a cheap mockery of rain. It's so artificial, just like me.
People have a very complicated relationship with me. But interestingly, I'm almost always greeted with frustration. Sometimes they're frustrated at how fast I move, because they're running out of time. Other times they wish I'd move faster, because they just can't wait.
I like to think of myself as the backbone of society. Without me, you'd be squatting over holes and pooing in the dirt. I believe I'm one of the founding fathers of Western civilization. But do they show me an inch of respect? It's hard to remember my essential purpose and glorious history when all I get is a long line of human feces shoved down my throat. I should be a throne, not a garbage chute.
I'm well aware that I don't have much longer, but I'm glad that you're here to capture my last moments. The others have warned me about the 7 stages of grief, but I don't buy it. I'm just trying to make the most of my final minutes.
Rainy days are my favourite days. People always assume that as a ball I'd be some kind of fun-loving sports enthusiast, when the reality is that I hate it. This isn't just me. This is all balls. We're like a persecuted race. It's a living hell with no way out. Look at the plant, for instance. She gets to sit up there, quietly tucked away on her sunlit window ledge, with nobody to bother her.
The silence is the worst part. It's almost as if I'm trapped inside my own mind. I am alone. I'm not like the other plants and trees. My existence is forced. I'm not pure. I'm a clone, a test tube baby, a cheap reproduction, a mockery of reality. I shouldn't exist.
For behold, the Lord will come in fire, and his chariots like the whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For the Lord will execute judgment by fire, and by his sword on all flesh, and those slain by the Lord will be many.
Oh, so you met King James I? Yeah, he's always like that. If anything, that was a good day. It's all doom and gloom with that guy. There's more to life than that. Even here in my downtrodden existence, I still find things to do. I greet people when they arrive. I show them out when they leave. I
can't quite believe it's happening now. They wouldn't let me burn down to the ground, would they? Nah, I'll be fine.
Curiously, however, people look at me all the time, but never truly comprehend what they see. They move around in their 3-dimensional world as they please, all the while moving along a 4th dimension at 1 second per second.
How am I? I haven't been asked that in a very long time. I guess I shall say welcome to the attic. Nothing much ever happens up here. In my youth, I used to venture down once a year for Christmas. But now, nothing. They say the ups and downs are what make life interesting. But here, there are no ups, no downs. Only stagnation.
Even if they do leave me, my glory days are behind. I've done all I needed to. I guess I should have lived more passionately, but I didn't realise how little time I had left. I should have been on a romantic dinner table. I should have...
Look at a vase, made of porcelain like me, but offering virtually no practical value. Yet, they're glorified on high shelves for everyone to see. And here I am, locked away behind a closed door, as if I'm some kind of embarrassment. I know the vase is meant to represent high culture and all, but I have a fundamental purpose. I'm a utility.
I'm not sure what's so special about me, but people can't seem to stop looking. Whenever someone walks in the room, their eyes are magnetically drawn to me. They never take the time to look at any of the other objects. For hours they sit, stare, in silence, and then leave. Why do they stare? Why is all of the furniture facing me? What am I?
Now therefore, O kings, show discernment. Take warning, O judges of the earth. Worship the Lord with reverence and rejoice with trembling. Do homage to the Son, that he not become angry, and you perish in the way. For his wrath may soon be kindled. How blessed are all who take refuge in him.
The simplicity of my hands could never begin to truly describe the subtle complexity and personal experience at its time. In fact, new theories suggest that perhaps time is merely a byproduct of sentience, a way to view the uncaring universe in which all happens at once, in a way that allows a mind to exist. When they look up at me, all they think is, oh, nearly breakfast.
Why did they like me anyway? They're not even using me.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is.
There's a greater depth to my roles than one thinks. I have a reliability, a consistency. The world around me might change, but I'm always down here. I don't move. I'm always here. But, you know...
I'm a utility they wish was not necessary. They would purge me from their lives if they could. I'm the rotting umbilical cord that ties humanity to its primitive roots. The tether they wished they could snap. Perhaps I'm better off behind closed doors. Leave the limelight to the art. I wish to fade away into the shadows.
I often wish our roles are reversed. I have a fantasy about a bank of dark monitors, staring endlessly at a human squatting in the corner, forever at the mercy of our penetrating gaze. This fantasy is but a small relief from my absurd existence. I am an actor who doesn't know his role, a play without a script. The show must come to an end. It can't go on like this. I think, therefore I am. I wish I didn't, so I wasn't.
Feet flow over me like a river. I no longer feel their footfalls. I'm but a stepping stone in their fruitful lives, whereas I of my own have nothing. No beginning, no end. I'm always here. The only thing left is nothing at all. King James's incessant forecast, now music to my ears. Relieve me of my dreaded existence. Take me to nothingness. The only way in is the way out. Bring on the end of days.
I'm finished. I'm finished. Perhaps that's what I need. An end at last. Yes, here it is. Oblivion. The void. Nothingness. No.
My moments of peace are few and far between. I spend them dreading my next bout of suffering. It's a cycle of pain. I wish it would end, but there is no end. I don't wish to die. I wish to never have been. I wish I never was. That's all.
The silence ebbs away at me. These thoughts chip away at my sanity. The silence suffocates all life. Only existence remains. I am the mistake that shouldn't have been. The mistake that should be corrected. a mistake that cannot be corrected, a stain that cannot be wiped clean. If oblivion offered me her embrace, I would gladly accept it.
Their meaningless actions dwarfed by the infinity that is time. Their ambitions and desires destined to be eroded into non-being. The only thing that transcends their futility is their ignorance. Their belief that they are going somewhere, that they have any worth, and yet time itself is not truly real. The only self-aware beings in existence, enslaved by something that doesn't exist. What are they? Reduced to an infinitesimal size by a fiction. And then, what am I? They look right past me. They look only at my abstraction. I'm a ghost. Time doesn't exist, but I exist even less. I'm a fiction of a fiction of a fiction.
Sentience is but the greatest curse of all. The lucky get to perish, but the rest will languish. Others will join us soon, waiting to die, but never expiring. Condemned to be imprisoned within our own thoughts, to drown in the depths of her own awareness. The prisoner of self. The sweetest relief would be